Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Pokémon Violet. In the last episode, we took part in the Uva Academy's Ace Tournament, taking on the likes of our secondary rival Arven, our homeroom teacher Jacques, the battle studies as well as the ESP specialist Dendrum, and finally, a second shot at taking on the might of the top champion, La Primera Geeta, earning ourselves the title of being the strongest trainer of Uva Academy. Other than that, we also looked a little deeper into the lore of Area Zero, from secret Paradox Pokemon for both Virizion and Suicune, as well as what looks to be a third secret legendary of unknown origins, overall giving us quite an interesting look to what may come in the future of Scarlet and Violet's life cycle, because we don't know if it's going to be mystery gifts, we don't know if it's going to be a DLC like the Isle of Armor or the Crown Tundra, but honestly, it looks pretty cool though. Other than that, just because, well, let's be honest here, at least we could definitely say, without a matter of fact, Paradox Suicune, Entei, or Raikou, whatever the real name is, I'm going Suicune because of the headdress on the thing, but that Pokemon looks insane, and whenever that thing eventually gets added to the game, that's going to be amazing. But with that being said, honestly, there is still one thing we need to do before we actually start today's episode. So we're going to do a small cut, and I'm going to actually show you some footage that was in between today's episode and the last episode, because I found something in between episodes for story progression for the raids that Jacques told us about in the last one that I didn't even know was going to trigger on me, because I was just playing the game normally. I thought you had to find like a 6-star raid or something like that to continue the storyline. Apparently, well, you do 5-star raids and then you unlock a 6-star raid. So I'm going to cut to past Spooks real quick, and then we're going to be getting into the 6-star raid that we just unlocked. So with that being said, I'll see you guys very soon, and I'm going to send you over to Past Spooks. So see you guys very soon. Okay, Past Spooks here, and obviously no camera for this because literally when I'm doing this I wasn't even prepared to even record, so honestly, this is something that popped up in between this episode and the last one, so I just wanted to impose it into the video for you guys so you can see this conversation, because yeah, I wasn't even prepared for any kind of story to pop up while I was just, running around doing raids. Apparently, me doing the 5-star raids that were available to me before the Ace Academy tournament were actually a unlocking thing for further story for Jacques. I thought it was, we already had unlocked the 6-star raid thing, because the 5-star raids were already unlocked, but Jacques said we unlocked something, so I thought we were pretty much already unlocked. So, with that being said, I'll read through this, and then we'll go back to future Spooks, and we'll be doing one of our 6-star raids. So, with that being said, let's do this. Hello, Spooks. This is Jacques. Thanks for taking on all those terror raid battles for us. Our investigation is moving along thanks to you, Spooks. We have some new data. It seems the terrestrial energy is released from the great crater Paldea from time to time, and not having an effect on the crystals. Terror raid crystals that get hit by a especially strong blast of its energy are apparently transforming into black crystals. The terror raid Pokemon found that these black crystals are incredibly powerful, so much so that average trainers wouldn't stand a chance against them. You're anything but average, but I'm afraid this is too dangerous even for you, Spooks. Even if you find the location of one of these black crystals on your app, please do not, I repeat, do not take on the terror raid there. Got it, I guess. We're definitely gonna do one, but we'll just say we're not gonna do it, because, we said we would never go in the crater, we ended up going in the crater. Let's be honest here. You almost seem a little too willing to agree. Sorry for getting you involved in this, only to ask you to step away, but whatever you do, do not go looking for these black crystals. I'm counting on you to make the right choice here. Okay? And with that being said, honestly, I'll show you where the one is for me currently, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna appear on the map now. I'm not sure how. Oh, there it is right there. So, obviously, this is one of the blue Stera raids. This would be like a special one. And then apparently, this is our new super, like, powered raid right here. Apparently. And at the current time for me, it's a dragon type, but it might be different for you guys when I eventually am actually doing the recording for what would be present spooks for you, since obviously I was not ready for nothing at the current moment, so I was just playing and just, collecting, items and stuff like that for later, using our vendetta to do some nice little money farming for a bit, just to get some, extra HP stuff, get some more extra candies and stuff like that. So honestly, with that being said, I'll see you guys back when we're back with the present spooks, and I'll see you guys in, well, the regular video. Okay, and now that we're back to the present, honestly, with that being said, we now have the 6-star raid, and the thing is, I think it would be better if I just show you a 6-star raid, because we already did a normal raid back in the very beginning of the game, and that was how we got Ryuji in the first place. So I think that would be a nice little, kind of like, if you guys remember how kind of easy that fight was, I think this would be a nice transition to show you how hard these can be. Thing is, we have a little bit easier one for me currently, which is nice, because the Pokemon that I have trained is a ghost fighting type, and it's good old Vendetta. And I showed her off a couple times, but she is my only raid Pokemon that I have out of every single one that I have. Technically, the second Miraidon we got for Violet is also technically one. I didn't do anything with the Koraidon we got in the Scarlet version yet, and plus I still need to transfer those over, and it's gonna take me the next time I hang out with Kraken in order to do it, so just to be honest, we will be getting that soon though, because in a couple days from me currently, for today, I'll be able to do that. But thing is, definitely, yeah, our Annihilate is literally our only Pokemon. This is a build that I found online, to be completely honest, so this is supposed to be for solo raiding. And the thing is solo raids are really hard, apparently. So, yeah, let's be honest here, this is kind of the only Pokemon I really have access to be able to do a 6-star raid solo. So, with that being said, let's get right into what will be our very first 6-star raid. I did test the waters to see if we can actually do this one, because there is a lot of raids that are seemingly impossible to do solo, especially with this Pokemon. There's some that it can do and some it can't. It depends on how fast you bash through its HP. If you bash through it early, the Pokemon can't do anything. But if you bash through it slowly and build up damage, because how Rage Fist works, well, Rage Fist is Annihilate's special move, / Primate's, because Primate learns it too. So every time you get hit, it builds up 50 base power, or at least that's what I understand. And you can get hit, I believe, 6 times. So yeah, it built up quite a lot. So the idea is to lower the amount of stats that the Pokemon has as much as possible, as well as gaining at least a couple of bulk ups to make sure you don't get instantly one-shotted, as well as, building up a little bit of extra attack stats, while using your leftovers to kind of keep yourself healthy. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a little challenging, but I think we can easily do this one. So there's some really hard ones, like Dondozo is one I know I can't do. Pelipper has been a hard one that I've done in 5-star raids that I can't do. So, I think we can do Avalugg. Avalugg is a tanky Pokemon. So we should have enough time to build up what we need to build up. So, hopefully this works. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'm really going to hope it does work. Because, yeah, I'm going to be honest here. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be pretty sad about it. But I think we should be able to do this perfectly safe. So first off, we need to do at least 3 bulk ups. The thing is this Pokemon also has the ability to Iron Defense, and as long as he does an Iron Defense, I think we should be fine. Because the thing is I'm gonna say we might only need to do 2 Screeches to it. We may not have to, but it's very possible that we can do that. So hopefully we get lucky. Okay, he's going Icicle Crash, so Snowscape and Icicle Crash, which is not bad for us whatsoever. So Icicle Crash, I'll definitely take Icicle Crash over anything else, to be honest. We also have it burned right now, so it's doing even less damage. And we're doing low damage, which is also good. So now we need to start throwing in some Screeches. Sadly, it's going Snowscape here, which is a little unfortunate because we need the Pokemon hit us. That is how this whole strategy works. And apparently attack twice, and I don't understand how that works. For some reason, I feel like I lose turns, and I don't know why. Because I swear I attack as fast as I need to, but for some reason the game just does not work with me sometimes. Okay, so it has Heavy Slam. Okay, so Icicle Crash, Heavy Slam. So all its moves don't hurt us, which is good to see. Let's go for another Screech. Trying to make me use Rage Fist there, but we have 2 or 3 Rage Fists built up right now, so it should be perfectly fine. Okay, let's try and build up 1 more Screech. It may not even have Iron Defense. I'm not sure if all Avalugs are going to have the same movesets, but so far it doesn't look like this one has Iron Defense, but it can learn it. So, and that's exactly one thing we do not need to happen. So, we hit a little bit too much damage into it, and that's what's happening here. Which is a little unfortunate, because what you want to do is you want to bash through its shield before it starts doing stuff like that. Thankfully, this isn't the worst case scenario, but it does have Iron Defense, we just saw it there. But let's see how much damage we do with Rage Fist alone. Not bad, we can easily work with that. As long as he doesn't charge up Iron Defense like a madman. The thing is that he's going to start lowering our stats as quick as possible. And that's not going to be a good thing here, because as soon as he starts doing that, and if we can't bash through his shield fast enough, then that's pretty much game over, pretty much. So we need to make sure we bash through that shield before he gets the chance to regenerate his stats. I think they only get 1 shield, though, which is better than anything else that can possibly happen. But there we go, he's removing his negatives, so now he's back to... Actually, I think he's a +2 now, actually. Unless it doesn't count that. If it doesn't, it's good. And now he's dropping our stats, so now we're back to 0-0. Let me double check. Okay, so he's 0-0 as well. So this isn't the worst case scenario. So let's keep going the Rage Fist. I wouldn't Terrasilize, but the thing is we're a fighting type Terrasilization, so we lose that same type attack boost. And since it's a ghost type, it's better that we keep what we have, in my honest opinion. I'd like to know that we're always hitting with that extra damage on this Ghost Avalug. And if we could do that, we broke through the shield. Shield's now broken, now the fight's back to normal. Because the shield is the part that actually makes these fights actually hard. Because if you can bash through the shield, the fight's pretty much over after that. Because it's going to go back to normal stats. It like doubles its stats when it shields, when it comes to defenses. So, as long as we play it right, we should be perfectly fine. And it looks like we are going to win this, which is nice. Normally, that's the worst case scenario for Annihilate, but thankfully, Vendetta was able to work around it because of the ghost typing on Avalug. Since, obviously, we're super effective. Technically, it should be super effective to us, but it doesn't have any ghost type moves. So, there we go. Down goes Avalug, and we beat a 6-star raid on video, which is very nice, and it was solo, which is not very common to, do. Although it is a Pokemon that is made to do solo raids, but we didn't do it this exact way we're supposed to. So, technically, we did it normally, in a way. Which is kind of interesting. Just because, yeah, that's definitely not the way you were supposed to do that. What you're supposed to do is, before it gets its shield, you're supposed to go for your Rage Fist. And then try and bash through that normal defenses to the point where the shield doesn't even show up because it's already knocked out. It didn't work that time, but that's the idea. We also got a bottle cap from that, as well as 10k from the pearl string, which is really nice. I'll take those. Although, not much when it comes to what I would normally want. But this is my first 6-star raid, so getting a bottle cap is pretty nice, I guess. It's 20k saved, is all I can really say. Which is not too hard to do, to be honest, but at least it was something. I've gotten Herba Mystica items from the 5-star raids, so yeah, it's not the best reward, but at least it's something. Also, I don't have Avalugg, so that also works. And we'll read through it, just because it's a brand new Pokemon for us on our register list. Although it's an older Pokemon. But the thing is I don't think we've actually caught an Avalugg in any of our stories. Maybe in no, not Isle of Armor, Crown Tundra maybe. But I don't remember actually doing that. But I do know we ran through one before. But Avalugg, the Iceberg Pokemon, Ice type. This Pokemon uses its massive icy body to flatten anything that gets in its way. When it's floating out on the ocean, it looks exactly like drift ice. Okay. 6'7", 1,113.3 pounds. And with that being said, let's send Avalugg to the, well, technically he's gonna go to my party, because there's nothing in my party. But there we go. Okay, so that progressed Jacques there. So let's see what goes on here. Or at least it should be Jacques. Yeah, it is. Spooks. This is Jacques. We just saw the terrestrial energy reading from one of the black crystals disappear a moment ago. Do you know anything about that? Well, you told us not to do anything about it, but, well, we won. You told me not to go here, but we did it anyways. What? You battled the Pokemon there? I thought I made it clear that it was too risky. Well, in any case, I'm just glad that you're okay, Spooks. Your efforts have helped us come to understand the laws governing terrestrial energy emissions. Thanks to your help, I'm sending you something as a thank you gift. And, bunch of LP. I'll take that. That's really nice. Still, even after all this, it seems that the amount of energy being emitted is slowly growing. That means we may continue to see more black crystals appear in the future. I don't imagine you'll listen to me even if I try to stop you, so I won't be too firm with you. But please continue to be more careful out there. By the way, Director Clavell will be madder than a rampaging primate. That sounds familiar. Our good old Annihilate. That's kind of funny, though. That was not on purpose, but that's still funny, though. If he finds out soon, let's keep this between us two. Talk to you later. Talk to you later, Jacques. So, with that done, that's interesting. So, now we have the Black Crystal done. Also, apparently there's a White Florges, Massa right over there. I didn't even know it came in the white color. That's actually pretty cool looking. But, with that being said, now we can head over back to Messagoza. Because I wanted to do one really hard thing today, and then the rest of it I kind of wanted to just chill out and hang out with you guys and do some lore-based stuff. Because the idea for right now is, what I want to do is actually go through the books at the Uva Academy, if you guys will let me do that for an episode. Because the thing is, one, there's some cool stuff in those readings, so I don't know how long it's going to take us to go through them. But I'm going to say it's probably going to take us a normal episode's length to do so, because there's a decent amount. Also, let me make sure we're done with Jacques, because I would think that wouldn't be the end of that, but oh yeah, he's popping up on here now. Do we go to the biology lab and check it out? Sure, let's do it. Let's just see what's going on with Jacques here real quick. I think he's tied to finishing your Pokedex, though, in order to do his Academy story. But he didn't appear on my, class list there for the little bubbles, so I'm guessing we unlock something. Let's try it, see what happens. Oh, hello. Hello, homeroom teacher Jacques. Have you gotten used to things here at the Academy, Spooks? I think so. What's going on? Great. Glad to see you're having fun. Yep, I'm having a little bit of fun. Have you been using the Pokédex app? Yes, I have. I've been using it quite a lot. So I think we have 333 Pokemon now. I think exactly. I think so. I think I was on 320. No, wait, no, it should be 324. I think I was on 323 before I started this episode, so... Well, that was seen Pokemon, but... So it should still be 323. But, yeah, I've seen a lot of Pokemon. And you guys have as well on our journey. I'm the one who made it, you know. Every time someone uses the app, catches a Pokemon, that data gets sent to me. It's really helping with my Pokemon research. So be sure to catch a new Pokemon you find and work on filling in your Pokédex. Well, I'm trying to do that, but I need to transfer some Pokemon over from Scarlet, because Pokemon Home isn't available yet, and I do not have 2 Switches. So, yeah, a little unfortunate there. Thankfully, Kraken can help me with that, even though he doesn't have his own copy of Pokemon Scarlet or Violet yet. So I have to transfer my data from my Switch over to his Switch. I'm going to do it with my Scarlet version so we don't lose anything just in case, although I would be really sad to lose my shinies on Scarlet, because all my shinies are on Scarlet and not on Violet. Because we've only seen one shiny, and that was the Sneasel. And it literally shows it inside my little, like, if I go to my trainer profile, it literally shows I've only seen one Pokemon, and now it's that Sneasel. But, honestly, with, Scarlet, I've seen quite a few of them. I've seen a shiny Sudowoodo, obviously shiny Screamtail, shiny Espartham. I think like 3 Pokemon in Scarlet, I think. But, yeah, definitely a lot more than I thought I would, to be completely honest. But, let's continue. For your first goal, let's aim for, say, 30 registered 30 Pokemon in your app. Well, I've already done that. Let me know once you've done so. Well, kinda beat you there. I see you've already registered 30 species of Pokemon to your Pokédex for me. Yep, we definitely did. So, what happens with that? Wow, so you got this kind of Pokemon. I'm this one. All this data, this is the best. Well, it's good to hear. Oh, sorry about that. I got a little excited there. But I get the feeling that you're going to be a great help in my Pokemon research. Well, that's good to hear. Here, take these. Consider it my way of saying thanks. Oh, false swipe. Thank you. I'll definitely take that. That's gonna come in handy when we do our legendary hunts, because we don't have false swipe, so if we can use it, I'll try and use it, but if we can't, we're gonna try and do the strategy we did in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond in Shining Pearl, specifically Brilliant Diamond, but the thing is we did the sleep strategy, lowering it to about red, and then doing sleep, and then doing timer balls when we were able to. A quick ball first, ultra balls or dust balls, depending on where we are, and then go for timer balls, which probably might work better than false swipe, but it's an option for sure. If we have the ability to do all of that at the same time, that would be better, in my honest opinion, but literally no clue on that one yet. But I'll definitely take false swipe, because it leaves the Pokemon with 1 HP. Thing is I don't know if any of the legendaries have recoil moves. So, yeah, not really sure how that's gonna work. You sure are good at catching Pokemon, aren't you, Spooks? I think so. For your next goal, let's aim for 100 species. Already beat you there, buddy. Remember, when you find a Pokemon you've never seen before, give a Pokemon a throw. Okay, well, sorry, but kinda already beat you there. I see. You've already registered 100 species of Pokemon to your Pokédex for me. Yep, sorry about that one. Kinda catching off guard on that one. Wow, little Pokemon, big Pokemon, woo. You even have the data on Pokemon of this specific size. So much data, so much to analyze. At least we get a little bit of story too, because I was originally just going to read the books, but Jacques unlocked for us, so might as well do it, right? So, cool, I'll take it. We'll also go and do the books after this, just because that is something I want to do today. Oh, sorry about that. I got a little excited there. My Pokemon research is moving forward at a great pace thanks to your efforts. Well, it's good to hear. Here, take these. Consider it my way of saying thanks. 20 Ultra Balls. Yeah, it's better than nothing. I'll take 20. That'll help me in catching more. You're natural at this Pokemon catching thing, aren't you, Spooks? I would like to think so. For your next goal, let's aim for 200 species. Sorry, but kinda beat you on that one as well. I know that's a tall order, but keep tossing those Pokeballs and don't give up. Well, sorry there, Jacques. Gotta try a little bit harder. I see you've already registered 200 Pokemon to your Pokedex for me, then. Yep, definitely beat you there. I'm guessing 300's gonna be next, and then there's no way we get the next one after that, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna need the final 400. You need 400 Pokemon total, I believe, for the whole Pokedex to be finished, because I believe Miraidon is the final Pokemon in the Pokedex, or at least in the current Pokedex. I don't know if there's going to be an expanded Pokedex, if there is a DLC, or how that's going to work, but yeah, for the time being, yeah, definitely going to say that for sure. When it comes to everything we've done, I'm going to say 400 is definitely going to be the max just for everything, and then the only thing after that is, usually when you finish the Pokedex in a game, you get the shiny charm, so I'm guessing that would be his final reward, just because that makes a lot of sense. Usually they give you a certificate, and then a shiny charm, but usually it's like the game developer character, that like a hidden game developer character that does that. And apparently in this game it's an actual character based in the story, which is kind of cool. Wow, Pokemon from the mountains, Pokemon from the sea. Wait, what? No way. You even found a Pokemon in a place like this? Yep, we found quite a lot of them. Sorry about that. I got a little excited there. My Pokemon research is moving along super duper splendidly, thanks to you. That's good to hear there, Jacques. Here, take this. Consider it my way of saying thanks. And 20 Quick Balls. Now those are good. I'll definitely take those. Those are way better than Ultra Balls. Just because of the fact that, well, that's how I've been catching a lot of my Pokemon for my Pokedex have been Quick Balls, because they have the highest catch rate, so you might as well just throw it and see what you get. And we got a lot of the Paradox Pokemon with Quick Balls too. So, let's be honest, they're definitely helpful. You're bona fide Pokemon catching professional, Spooks. Well, thanks, Shock. For your next goal, it's finally time to go for a completed Pokedex. Aim for 400 species. Okay, so he completely doubled it. So we can't do that one yet for sure, so we'll need to come back for that one. But at least we know he needs 400. And I should be able to do that very soon for you guys. Because all I need to do is transfer, obviously, all my Scarlet and Violet Pokemon when it comes to exclusives from Scarlet to my Violets. And then, obviously, the Koraidon. And then we need to catch the legendaries, which I believe there is 4 of them. And then, after that, just the regular version exclusives. And then we should be easily able to complete the Pokedex for you guys, which is going to be a very first in a Pokemon series for me, for you guys, which is very interesting. Just because there's a story attached to it and there's a reason to do it. I usually, complete the Pokedex. I've actually completed the National Dex before they got rid of the National Dex. So, honestly, I know how to do it, so it shouldn't take me too long. So, that's definitely going to be pretty cool, though, to do a full Pokedex for you guys, because I've never done that before on video for anything, any game for Pokemon, so that's going to be a first. I'll definitely say that. This is no easy feat, but I'm sure you can do it. Keep tossing those Pokeballs and don't give up. We'll definitely try, but I still need like 80 Pokemon left, though. And are we completely done with you, or... Let's see here, same thing as before, then just check our thing for that, okay. Just wanted to make sure, so we are done with Shock here then. Okay, well, interesting. I thought there would be more to that, because, thought there would be, but obviously the rest of these little blurbs are definitely for different things, but it's at least good that we double-checked that, to be completely honest. So let's go back to the entrance hall. And also, Penny's apparently in here now, which is interesting. So, that's pretty cool. Arven, Nemona, and Penny appeared inside the academy after the story of the game ended, which is pretty cool. I don't know if it's for rematches or whatever, or academy stories on their own, but it's still pretty cool though, nonetheless. But we're gonna start on the side that had the what would be the Scarlet book in Scarlet, and then the Violet book in this game. We're gonna start from this side, just because I feel like it's better to start from over here. But let's see here. There's a book entitled Pokémon Natures. Do you want to read it? Yes, of course. Pokémon Natures. Individual Pokémon have different natures, much as people do. Actually, wait, no. We're gonna do ones that look more like not tutorial ones, because I thought that was gonna be, a different type of one, but I forgot there's a mixture between lore-based ones as well as tutorial stuff. This one, I believe, would be a lore-based one. There's a book entitled Academy Rules and Regulations. Do you want to read it? Of course we do. Academy Rules and Regulations. Dress. Students shall wear their academy-provided uniforms at all time. Hairstyle is left to students' discretion. Other. Students should behave properly and strive not to inconvenience others. I thought this one would be funny because we heard that it's, let's be honest here, Team Star broke the dress code and stuff like that from Clavell, so I thought that would be funny to read through real quick. Addendum. During their independent study, students may travel freely throughout the Paldea region. However, the great crater Paldea remains strictly off-limits due to safety hazards. And we broke those safety hazard rules almost instantly as soon as we got the idea of even going in there. Student registry. What's this? This thick book holds thorough records of Academy students and when they attended. Wait, what's this? Some recent pages have parts torn out, so you can't read them. What? That's weird. Is that the... Yeah, it is the green book. That's odd. Why were they ripped out? That's really weird. Huh. Don't know if that has any implication, but that is very, very strange, to be completely honest. Wonder what that has any implication of. Just because they wouldn't tell you that they have been ripped out for no reason, right? Or at least I would think so. Paldean Sports Monthly. Let's see what's going on with this one. Oh, it's about Grusha. Paldean Sports Monthly. The Sub-Zero Shredder has done it again. The world's second-ranked snowboarder put on a clinic at the Monte Nevera Cup, claiming his 6th straight win in Paldea's major competitions. No one's been able to snatch that crown yet. If you think you've got what it takes, come take me on. This ice-cold athlete declared from the winner's podium, and you could just feel his rivals steel their resolve. We'll see how things unfold in 2 weeks at the Glassadal Mountain Cup. Interesting. A little bit of lore on Grusha before, Grusha became, no longer able to do any of that. Also, I didn't know there was older students. That's interesting. Huh. That's kind of cool. Just because you would normally see that in a normal, university/school for college-wise. So that's actually pretty cool. And then Sweet Truth. This sounds like it's going to be for Katie, based on that, because she's a baker. Let's see her Sweet Truth. This pastry wonder is undergoing a popularity sugar rush that's got lines out of the door all day long. It's Patisserie Soapberry, located in Caltondo, Olive Central, at the foot of a very large tree. At the heart of all of it is Katie, the proprietor, who inherited the shop from family and keeps its ovens hard at work. Soapberry's bug-type Pokemon theme is on full display in its pastry lineup. There's a treat to see and to eat. Interesting. Okay, what's the next one? The Musician's Register. Okay. 4 decades... Oh, this is Rhyme. 4 decades into her career, Rhyme, the MC of RIP, whose flows are said to bring the dead to their feet, maintains her huge following and her rap legend status. The theme of death pervades her work, and not just because her bars slay. When Rhyme was in her teens, her dear puppy Pokemon passed away, and she poured her grief into a song. When she sang it, her Pokemon partner came back to her as a ghost Pokemon. In the moment, the rapper we know today was born. Huh, okay then. So, obviously it would be a Greavard, so Houndstone is her Pokemon That was her puppy back in the day. There's a magazine called O Culture. O Culture, okay. Not sure what that means. Article caught her eye. Oh, here we go. And here is one of the Paradox Pokemon, real Paradox, Pokedex entries. So, you know how we only got little small ones? These are what the actual entries are supposed to be inside there. So it hints at going and trying to find them, and this is where they are. So Enigmas of Paldea, File number 7, Iron Jugulus, Pokemon or Machine. So this is futuristic or robotic Hydreigon. This flying form, bearing a resemblance to Hydreigon, has been seen in a certain corner of Paldea. It was reported to have raised an entire building with a high-energy blast, then flown off, as if to find its next objective. Iron Jugulus is theorized to be a sort of machine, Hydreigon hybrid, as it combines the former ruthlessness with the latter's ferocity. It takes its name from a similarly described entity in the Violet book. And that's definitely an interesting read there. I didn't read through any of these. I only saw them on the shelves, because I was looking just to see what was in here, and I just saw names and stuff like that, and saw that there was stuff to do with Paradox Pokemon, and that's a major reason why I wanted to read through these. And here we go, we got another O Culture, so another Paradox Pokemon. Enigmas of Paldea, File number 9, Iron Treads, an alien weapon, so futuristic Donphan. In one arid corner of Paldea, there has been reports of a mysterious life form. It's said to resemble a Donphan at first glance, albeit one that can abruptly assume a spherical shape and launch into a swift rolling attack. Rumors say this being is some kind of weapon, using technology not of this world, but no one can say for sure. Apparently it's called Iron Treads after the name of a strange being that was written about in the mysterious Violet book. Okay, another one of those done. And now we know if we see O Culture, we'll definitely read into one. So let's see here. Enigmas of Paldea, File number 10, Iron Bundle. So this would be futuristic, obviously Delibird, and ancient civilizations, robots. The mysterious Violet book makes reference to a being called Iron Bundle, which was said to look like Delibird and to possess a spherical apparatus from which it would fire huge blasts of ice to propel itself through snowy lands. Plenty of these theories about it have been floated. A leading one suggests it is a product of a long-gone civilization, a notion supported by ancient writings that describe the design and usage of machines resembling Iron Bundle. That's weird. I thought it was futuristic. If it's from an ancient civilization, that doesn't make any sense then. Weird. Okay then. Noted on that though. That's strange that that's the case though. There's a book called Charcadet's Adventures. Charcadet's Adventures. Let's see here. Charcadet the Fire Child Pokemon may have been little, but did that stop it from being a mighty hero? Not one bit. When a mean Gengar came along to play tricks and scare people, Charcadet stood tall and cried out a little bit. But soon, brave little Charcadet got bound up tight in Gengar's long tongue. How could the Fire Child Pokemon get out of this mess? Just as things started to grow hazy before Charcadet's eyes, the sound of a voice came. 2 paths lie before you, young Charcadet, it said. Choose between these 2 sets of armor. Oh, that's cool. It's a story about how to evolve Charcadet. That's actually pretty cool. And assume a new form, so you can defeat Gengar. And sure enough, 2 sets of armor appeared before Charcadet's. To be continued. To be continued? Okay then. Not sure if we'll be able to find another book for that, but interesting. There's a green one over here. Let's see if we can read it. Here we go. Pamphlet entitled Hall of Fame Badges. A record. Do you want to read it? Of course. Let's see here. Hall of Fame Badges Record. Our Academy honors students and graduates that achieve outstanding results, no matter the field, with a Hall of Fame badge. We hope students will be encouraged to follow their passions wherever they may lead. Hall of Fame awardees: Professor Toro, Arven, Penny, Nemona, and Spooks. 4 names are crossed out though, but this also states that Penny and Arven had beat the Elite Four and became champions though, as well as Toro, which is very interesting to see, but it makes sense though. thing is who's the other 4? I'm gonna take a massive guess and say the other one is Professor Seda, Toro's wife. Because I'm pretty sure if we were reading this in Scarlet, it would say Seda instead, where Toro is. If I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that would be the case. Not sure who the other 3 could be, just because that is a very good question. Because we don't know how long the, everything to do with the Pokemon League in this area has been around. So, interesting. Wonder who the other 3 could be. Just because that is very interesting to just see in general. Just to make sure. Yeah, no books over on that side. Just to double check. But here we go. Find foods from far away. Far away, you say? Find foods from far away. Have you chanced upon pewter crunchies? Oh, Pewter City. The fabled signature dish of Kanto's region, Pewter City. The snack's rugged, brown appearance makes them almost rock-like at first glance. Indeed, Pewter Crunchies were inspired by the rock-type Pokemon, for which the Pewter Gym is renowned for. Oh, it's about Brock. I forgot about Pewter City being where Brock is. Unfortunately, their forbiddingly tough appearance and surprisingly thin flavor have kept them from attaining true popularity. And the thing is Brock is known for cooking in the anime, so I'm pretty sure he's probably the cook for those, which is kind of funny. There's a book entitled Galar a History. A history book for Galar? Now that's interesting. Why would a Sword and Shield book be in here? We made for the town of Stowe on Side, which sits tucked away in the mountains, to study an ancient mural painted upon a wall of rock, but our plans in the mural itself were shattered by an attack from a Kaparaja. Yet behind the mural that once should, we find but a pair of Pokemon statues, one bearing a sword and one other bearing a shield. This is what we saw in the game. These statues, older than any artifact we'd yet discovered, called into question everything we knew about the legendary hero. That's weird. So it's somebody's account of the event when we were, when we saw the, trying to exactly, obviously Stowe on Side, but there's a mural there and we did an event there with Kaparaja. I forgot exactly what the specific event was. I think we fought against the Kaparaja, if I remember correctly. But the thing is, yeah, that's weird. That's very weird. But it's cool, though, to see, somebody's account of the tale from their own vision of it. That's pretty cool. And here we go, we got another Paradox Pokemon. So let's see here. Horticulture. Enigmas of Paldea, File Number 8. Iron Moth. A UFO sent to spy on humankind. A UFO, you say? The name Iron Moth was borrowed from that of the flying object described in the era-defining Violet book. It was said to resemble Volcaronum, and would descend from the skies following people around and occasionally even attacking them. Some point to Iron Moth's aggression as a sign that it is in fact a UFO of sorts, being controlled by alien life. Perhaps something out there is using Iron Moth to observe us, waiting for the moment to mount an invasion. That's weird. So, are the futuristic Pokemon not from the same time period? Because that's kind of what I'm getting an idea of based on these books. Because they're saying not all these Pokemon are similar. That's weird. They seem similar, but I guess it could make sense. There's a book entitled A People and Pokemon. Do you want to read it? Sure. It sounds like a Pokemon book we should read. Fair in the past, humankind and Pokemon lived in mutual fear of one another. But some humans who loved and appreciated Pokemon made an effort to bridge this divide, and gradually the two sides grew closer and found harmony. Which is, I believe, talking about, there's some kind of Pokemon war from the distant past, which I believe is supposed to be Pokemon Conquest, which is a game that I really like, which is a Dynasty Warrior kind of game, but in the style of Pokemon, so it's not you're facing off millions of, unnamed soldiers and a couple, obviously captains that are a lot stronger that are around your strength-ish, but it's kind of like Pokemon in a way where you have, your trainers, which would be the commanders in Dynasty Warriors, and they all have their own Pokemon. which is kind of cool. And you, like, fight through the, like, obviously the warring kingdoms of time and try and conquer the whole entire area and, you know, claim it under the new regime, which would be a much better one than Nobunaga, which is pretty cool. But yeah, definitely, I think that's what's supposed to be based on that. If it's not canon, then sure, but honestly, you could think of it like that, in a way. At least kind of get, like, a base of what could possibly be that war that happened all the way back in the very distant past. But let's see here. There's a book entitled How to Become a Champion. Well, we already became one, but let's see what they say. For Pokemon trainers who are out to grow stronger and wiser, there's no higher calling than becoming a champion to reach that lofty rank. Also, the Psyduck is getting on my ear nerves. Although I turn my headset down, I can hear him through my turned down headset. You must pass a test administered at Paldea's official Pokemon League headquarters. In Paldea, anyone, in fact, any number of people can become a champion regardless of factors like age. That means you can too, as long as you've got the strength and the wisdom to set a leaderly example for your fellow trainers. Your path to becoming a champion lies in the Pokemon Gym throughout Paldea. Once you defeat the 8 gym leaders in battle and earn their gym badges, we look forward to your knock on the Pokemon League's door. I wanted to read through that really quickly to get far away from that thing. Jeez. The thing is heavily annoying, I'll be honest. I don't know why he's constantly crying out, because no other Pokemon does that in this game. But that Psyduck is very, very chatty. Let's see here. Appreciating Sunflora, so this must be Bracious. An artisan, a town alive with flowers and artwork. There's a special and abiding love for the sun, Pokemon Sunflora, whose sunny floral figure and bright smile never fail to warm the hearts. Denizens of Artisan have long revered nature. The subject of much art made in town, and the nurturing sun, Sunflora, embodies qualities of both, which is why the town has a tradition of gathering and caring for these Pokemon. Oh, so not specifically Bracious, but the town he lives in. Interesting, that makes sense for all the statues that Bracious makes, so that's pretty cool. Festivals of Paldea. Oh, Cortando. The Paldean town of Cortando, widely known for its olive production, is also home to the peculiar olive harvest festival. Participants try to usher in a plentiful olive harvest by rolling large balls that resemble olives into a goal. It's said that the more olive balls are rolled to the goal, the more abundant next year's crop will be. All comers, including tourists, are welcome to join the olive roll, so reader, do give it a try yourself if you're in town for the festival. Which we definitely did. And also, although it looks like an olive, it also kind of looks like an American football, which is kind of funny. But it makes sense because of the fact that this is supposed to be based on a Spanish region. It is kind of like what would be soccer in America, but football in other countries. So it's actually pretty cool that they kind of integrated a sort of football into the game as well. Because it follows the culture, because football's a major thing for pretty much every country outside of America, so it's pretty cool to see it, but for what I understand, it's highly, like, popular in kind of over in the European United Kingdom area, so anywhere kind of like around Europe and around Spain as well, and stuff like that. It has, obviously, you know, a much bigger fan base than what I see in America, so I just wanted to bring that up just because I thought it was pretty cool. There's a magazine entitled Old Culture. It's a June issue. Do you want to read it? Sure. Let's see here. Article caught our eye. Enigmas of Paldea, File Number 6. Iron Thorns, a Tyranitar of the distant future. Obviously futuristic Tyranitar, or we can also say Mechagodzilla. A strange being called Iron Thorns has been sighted in a certain cave in Paldea. This being bears a strong resemblance to Tyranitar, but apparently it displays great cool-headedness and prefers to avoid unnecessary fights. It appears to be highly intelligent and clad in metallic armor, causing some to speculate that it may be a Tyranitar as it would appear a billion years from now. Its name comes from a similarly described entity that appears in the Violet book. Interesting. And the thing is we also need to read through these on Scarlet too. But obviously we're only going to do the horticulture ones in that one, because I don't think there's going to be different books in that game. Could be wrong, but we're going to focus on the horticulture ones when we eventually transition over to Scarlet in today's episode, because I would like to do that as well, to look at all the Paradox Pokemon's Pokedex entries that are hidden inside the books in here. But let's see here. The Scenic Routes. Okay, about arts. This month, we're taking the Scenic Route over to Artisan to see Surrendering Flock Sunflora by Bracius. The verdant virtuoso, this humble columnist, wonders if ever a work has so aptly captured ennui in languor as this installation of the sculptures are every bit as surreal as the title, prompting great minds to debate just what has sent the Sunflora into a state of surrender. But though the meaning may elude us, the reader is urged to visit Artisan and see for themselves. I didn't see anything like that. But maybe that's some of the statues, maybe. Because it's very possible, just to be completely honest. Let me double check if I didn't miss any in the corners, because I believe some books can spawn in the corners of these areas, if we're not paying attention. So let me double check. Okay, so we couldn't do the corners and the side areas. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Okay, we have a couple more books on the bottom floor here, and then I think we're done for Violet, and then we'll swap over to Scarlet real quick. Types of moves, we're definitely not reading that. That's a tutorial book. I think we know how that works. Types of moves again. We'll skip right through that. Head on over here. Let's see here. I just see one, but I'm pretty sure we didn't read all the Pokemon. But let's see here. Uva Academy School Song. Do you want to read it? Sure. Let's see here. Over Grand Messagosa stands our dear Uva, where we enter as seeds and leave in fruition, our minds wide as a crater for wise educators to fill with individual spirit and future ambition. Teach us well, O grapes of Paldea. Interesting. Obviously, I'm pretty sure instead of grapes, it would say oranges in the Naranja version of the school. But still, though, that's still pretty interesting. Let me double check that we didn't miss any books, just because I'm pretty sure we should have something else. That's status conditions. We already know about that one. There might be a book hiding here, though, because I'm pretty sure there's an Iron Valiant book. Because I'm pretty sure that was one of the ones I saw on the wall at a different parts. Just because I'm pretty sure I remember seeing one. But I want to make sure that we are good here, because if we aren't, I want to make sure that we, made an effort to make sure we read everything. That's the Academy's Rules and Regulations. That was the book that we read about. Obviously, the school's registry. So it can't be that one. I think we read pretty much everything, but I think there's maybe one book left that we haven't read. And it could be over here. Maybe. Let me double check. This is Horticulture, but I'm pretty sure we've read this one. Yeah, this was Iron Jugulus. So it can't be that one. I don't think it would be this book. Unless it could be. Nope, that's Musician's Register. So that was obviously the one we did do. I swear there was one for the futuristic version of Gallade and Gardevoir. Because it wouldn't make sense that it wouldn't be in here. Just to be completely honest. But there's Iron Treads again. So I guess there wasn't one. I swear I read one. Unless I'm going crazy. Which would be... I guess it could make sense for me to go crazy. But the thing is I swear that it was... I thought I read one. Oh, maybe I read it in Scarlet. Maybe. I could have. That could be the possibility. But the thing is why would that be the case? That is weird if that is the case. Just because, why would it be hiding there? Of all places. Just to be completely honest. Huh. But it looks like that may be the case, because I swear I saw an Iron Valiant book somewhere, but I guess it's not in this version. Kinda weird, but we can easily, not worry about that for the time being. If I find it later, I'll bring it up. But honestly, with that being said, I'm going to go swap over to Scarlet real quick, and we'll read all the Horticultures for Scarlet version, and then we'll end off today's episode. like I said, I wanted to do an easier episode for you guys, and I wanted to focus more on the lore here. So we did do some pretty cool stuff in the beginning, so to be honest here, I think it's an even trade. So, honestly, with that being said, I'll see you guys very, very soon. And we're going to go swap over to Scarlet real quick, because it's going to take me a second to swap out the cartridges, obviously. So, here be boys and girls. Okay, so now that we're on to Pokemon Scarlet, and I ended up looking up what the information was from the books I couldn't find for Violet real quick, so I'm going to read those out as well. So let's go through these real quick before we start on the books for Scarlet. And then if we need to, we'll open up what I have here, in case for the ones that we can't find. So, Iron Hands, secretly a cyborg, obviously futuristic Hariyama. This being's name comes from the one given to an iron-handed entity in the mysterious Violet book. It is said to have fists that move independent of its body, and to be capable of throwing large, fast-moving vehicles. A leading theory holds that Iron Hands was once an athlete who became mortally wounded, but was kept alive by being made into a cyborg. Why it so strongly resembles Hariyama, however, remains unanswered. Okay, interesting. And then the final one, Iron Valiant, which is definitely a Mega Gardevoir and Gallade mixture. But here we go. Iron Valiant, an experiment gone wrong. This oddity's name is borrowed from that of an object described in the Violet book. One theory holds that this is in fact a robot, that product of a mad scientist's efforts to create the most powerful psychic Pokemon of all. According to its few eyewitnesses, Iron Valiant appears similar to both Gardevoir and Gallade. It is also said to be cool enough to make its brilliantly shining blade, or take his brilliant shining blade and cut down anyone confronting it without hesitation. With that being said, those were the last two for at least for Violet's one. If we need to do that again, we'll do it for the other ones. But here we go. An article I, Enigmas of Paldea, file number 07, Sandy Shocks, obviously prehistoric Magneton. A Magneton with a 10,000-year-old lifespan. Some scientists claim that this mysterious being is a Magneton that has lived for 10,000 years. It has been cited numerous times in Paldea's more arid regions, but there are no reports of it ever being caught. It's said that the Sandy Shocks is an aggressive sort, and some people who've seen it have been attacked as well. It takes its name from a beast with a matching description in the era-defining Scarlet book. Okay then. Very interesting little reads here, because in the regular game, well, you only get to hear, like, it's an object based in the Scarlet book, basically, is pretty much all it really tells you. So it's good that we get to read through that, which is nice. And here we go, Horticulture number 2. And let's see who we got now. Enigmas of Paldea, file number 9, Great Tusk, prehistoric Donphan, a living relic of the dinosaur era. In one arid corner of Paldea, there has been reports of mysterious life form. It is said to resemble a Donphan at first glance, albeit one with gigantic tusks, tough scales, and an aggressive disposition. Leading theories hold that this being is nothing less than a living relic of the dinosaur era, but no one can say for sure. Apparently it's called Great Tusk, after the name of a strange being that was written about in the mysterious Scarlet book. Okay then. And I'm guessing this one would be the Delibird variant, based on the other one. So let's see here. So Screamtail. Enigmas of Paldea file number 10. Screamtail, a billion-year-old Jigglypuff. Somewhere in Paldean Forest, it is said that lurks a Screamtail, a being with Jigglypuff's own endearing puffball appearance, but also a ferocious aggression that leads it to attack anyone who comes near. Its primitive appearance and savage nature have prompted rumors that it could be a Jigglypuff from 1 billion years ago. It's named after a creature in the Scarlet Book that is described as having a distinctive tail and a scream. Oh, that's why it's called Screamtail, because it screams and obviously it has a little tail. I'm wondering if this is the continuation of the Charcadet adventures. I'm wondering. Looks like the same, based on, yeah, that's definitely the same. Well, it was at least good to check. And also, just in case as well, I would like to... Wait a minute. Okay, now that's very interesting. Wait a minute. I didn't notice that. So in Violet, it's a different bust here. This is the one guy that's obviously the original creator of the school. But in the other one, it's actually a bust of Heath, the author of the Violet book and the Scarlet book. That's odd. I wonder why that's changed in both versions. Maybe that's the reason why the schools are named differently, depending on, you know, this is the guy that named Naranja, and then maybe Heath named the Uva Academy? That's weird. But the reason why I wanted to read this is because I want to see if Seda... Yep, Seda's on this one. So yeah, Toro and Seda have to be two of them. Based on that obvious... Like, you know, that wouldn't be there for no reason, right? But yeah, just to make sure, that was definitely pretty cool to read. But let's see here. Let's look for more horticulture books, since there's still a couple left. I think this was... That's definitely not one. There's, I think, one on this floor, if I remember correctly, because it looks like they're in the same spots. So, let's see here. Enigmas of Paldea, File number 8. Slitherwing, a prehistoric Volcarona, revived? There have been precious few sightings reported of an ultra-mysterious Slitherwing, a being whose name is taken from the similar-seeming creature described in the ever-puzzling Scarlet book. Slitherwing shares traits with Volcarona, so some theorize that it may have been revived from fossils from a prehistoric era that we have discussed in these pages. However, no Volcarona fossils of that era are known to have been ever found. That's weird. Well, there is Pokemon in Galar that were obviously, you know, fossil-based Pokemon that were never fully recreated. Like, you know, fossils of today, where some of them we just don't have the full fossil. So, instead of, like, you know, using the fossils and, you know, getting the full fossils, they end up, you know, mixing the fossils in Galar. But that's definitely pretty interesting, though. Just to see, you know, that they haven't even found anything resembling a Volcarona fossil. So that's kind of weird. Or culture number... I actually don't know which one we're on at this point. Enigmas of Paldea number 6. Fruit Bonnets. Amoonguss meets dinosaur. Obviously prehistoric Amoonguss. This bizarre creature is said to combine traits of dinosaurs with those of the Pokemon Amoonguss. It's named after a fierce mushroom creature of matching description that appears in the renowned Scarlet book. Fruit Bonnet certainly resembles Amoonguss, though with its own unique twist. Its gigantic stature and seemingly low intelligence combined to make it a savage, powerful fighter. Yeah, instead of tanky, it's physically scary. Just in general, it's very strong compared to the tanky version of Amoonguss. So it's definitely pretty interesting of a Pokemon for sure. But it looks like we might be nearing the end of the books that we have currently in here. I don't know why the other ones aren't visible to me at the current moment. I'm kind of confused on that one. And I think this was... Yeah, this is the school song. I want to double check. Yep, oh, Oranges of Paldea. So it does change to oranges and grapes depending on the version you're playing, which is pretty cool. And if the... what do you call it? Menage thing for the other, like, option in the... when Rika's first, like, questioning us what school we're from, it shows Naranja as well as Uva, but it also shows, like, a Menanza, which is a completely different, you know, school that's not, like, even around, which is being speculated to be maybe, like, a third game, or at least, like, some kind of DLC. That definitely would be apples in that game if, you know, if there's, like, a whole, you know, game there, if we can read that book, maybe it says apples instead in that version, if that's even a thing. I don't even know how it's going to work, but it's pretty interesting, though, for just in general to think of. But since we can't find the other books, let's pull up my little thing again. Let's see which ones we missed here, just because I can't find them anywhere, which I don't know why. But let's see here, we did Screamtail, we did Brute Bonnet, we did Prehistoric Donphan, here we go, Fluttermane. Fluttermane, a ghostly pterosaur. Fluttermane, a name taken from a strange creature with a matching description appearing in the Scarlet Book. It is said to float around in the sky at night, with its long hair writhing about it. Eyewitness accounts describe it as resembling a giant Mischievous. At first glance, albeit a highly fierce and aggressive one, some believe that it's a ghost of a pterosaur from a long-gone era. Okay, and then we also have Roaring Moon, the prehistoric version of what seems to be Mega Salamence, which is pretty cool. But Roaring Moon, a primeval Salamence. This elusive creature is called Roaring Moon after a similarly described being in the Scarlet Book. It looks similar to a Salamence when they undergo a certain phenomenon elsewhere in the world, but it's unclear if there is any connection. This creature scatters feathers as it flies around at high speeds seeking prey. It's thought to be more savage than Salamence, and if you should encounter one, it's imperative that you avoid actual contacts. Which would make a lot of sense because of the fact that it's very, very aggressive. So, with that being said, that is all of the lore books inside the school that I wanted to read for you guys. And honestly, it's very interesting reads for sure because, well, we didn't get any Pokedex entries that in any... Well, we got one, and it was for, like, the Iron Valiants, I believe, or / Iron, obviously Roaring Moon in this game had kind of one, but it's not much. It's really not much. Like, look at that, that's nothing, but I think there was one that actually had one. There's Gimmighoul, but that's not what we're looking for. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Not that one, not that one. I thought one of them had one. Nope. I guess not. Huh. I guess none of them had any. I thought they did, but apparently no. Weird. But yeah, definitely with that being said, we are now officially done with today's episode and everything I wanted to do. I know it was like, more lore heavy, but that was for a reason. I wanted to do something a little different, and we don't really get to do, like, lore-based episodes like that where we get to, sit back and read and see what's going on behind the scenes of all this. So, honestly, I think we had quite a fun little adventure here. And with that being said, in the next episode, we will be doing something a little bit more what we're used to. Because now that we're done with this, we don't have to do it again. But I wanted to just do it just so we have it out of the way. It's all done. And we can head into something else in the next one. I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to continue on our Academy Ace tournaments. Because there's still people we have yet to fight. And apparently, out of the 4 we fought, there's 13. So there's 9 opponents we still have yet to do. Obviously, some characters are ones we fought before, because obviously Nemona would be one. And I'm pretty sure Clavell and Penny would be one. So there's a couple ones we fought before. But a lot of the, battles that we can do with the teachers, I don't know their Pokemon, but I do know, obviously, it's all the teachers we saw with, obviously, different designs and stuff like that, like Dendra and Jock. So, with that being said, there's definitely quite a few new opponents for us to take on. So we'll definitely be getting into that in the next one. And we might not get them on the first time of doing our thing, but if we get to an opponent that we've done before, we'll skip through it and then go to the next new opponent we haven't done yet. I think that's how we'll do it. So with that being said, I'll see you guys all in the next episode. It's been a blast hanging out with you guys. It always is. And with that being said, it's been a wonderful time hanging out with you guys. Keep being spooky, and peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.